First and most importantly, thank you for watching our videos. It makes us very happy and motivates us to create more and more interesting content for you. Greetings, the Fact Hunter channel. In today's episode, we'll explore the mysteries surrounding the Berlin Wall. The Berlin Wall remains one of the most enduring symbols of the Cold War, a physical and ideological barrier that divided not just a city, but an entire world. While much has been written about its political significance, many mysteries and lesser-known stories surround this structure. From secret escape tunnels to hidden listening posts, the Berlin Wall holds a wealth of untold tales that continue to intrigue historians and researchers alike. The secret escape tunnels. While many are familiar with escape attempts over the wall, few know the full extent of the underground tunnels dug by those desperate for freedom. Some of the most successful tunnels were built by students, engineers, and even former East Germans who had already escaped. One of the most famous tunnels, Tunnel 57, was completed in 1964 by a group of West Berlin students who managed to smuggle 57 people to freedom. The tunnel was only 1.5 meters high and incredibly narrow, forcing those escaping to crawl through muddy, unstable ground. Despite the risks, it proved to be one of the most successful operations of its kind. Other tunnels were not as fortunate. Some were discovered by East German border guards, Grenztruppen, leading to arrests, torture, and even executions. The Stasi, East Germany's notorious secret police, employed informants and seismic detection equipment to uncover tunnels before they could be completed. The hidden rooms of the Berlin Wall. Another little-known fact is that parts of the Berlin Wall contained hidden compartments used for various covert purposes, accessed. Some of these secret spaces were used by the Stasi to monitor escape attempts, while others served as makeshift hiding places for defectors waiting for the right moment to cross. One particularly intriguing case involved a hidden room within a guard tower near Checkpoint Charlie. This concealed space allegedly housed high-tech surveillance equipment used to eavesdrop on Western diplomats and military personnel. Documents declassified after the fall of the wall suggest that East Germany had an extensive espionage network operating from within the wall itself. The ghost stations. During the division of Berlin, some subway stations became eerie, abandoned relics of the past. The term ghost stations, Geisterbahnhof, refers to the underground train stations that were closed off and heavily guarded as they lay beneath East Berlin, while still being part of West Berlin's transit network. Trains from West Berlin were allowed to pass through these stations, but were not permitted to stop. Armed East German guards patrolled the platforms, ensuring that no one attempted to jump onto the tracks and escape. The dimly lit stations, covered in dust and cobwebs, gave an unsettling feeling to those who passed through them. The sight of these dark, lifeless platforms contrasted sharply with the bustling underground stations in the west, serving as a haunting reminder of the division of the city. One of the most famous ghost stations, Nordbahnhof, was completely sealed off for nearly 3 decades. It was only after the wall fell in 1989 that these stations were reopened and reintegrated into Berlin's transit system. Other stations, such as Potsdamer Platz and Oranienburger Straße, remained trapped in time, untouched by modernization until after reunification. Some of these stations had their entrances bricked up, while others featured sentry posts where guards kept constant watch for any attempted escapes. In recent years, efforts have been made to preserve the eerie atmosphere of these stations. Museums and exhibitions now document their history, displaying artifacts such as original signage, uniforms worn by East German transit police, and recordings of public announcements that once echoed through the tunnels. Some of the platforms still retain their original 1960s architecture, frozen in time as silent witnesses to an era of division and surveillance. These ghost stations remain a chilling testament to the everyday impact of the Berlin Wall, revealing how an entire city was fragmented not only above ground, but beneath it as well. Today, they stand as historical landmarks, allowing visitors to step back in time and experience a piece of Cold War history that many once feared they would never escape. The disappearance of the wall's fragments. When the Berlin Wall finally came down, thousands of people flocked to Berlin to take a piece of it as a souvenir. However, large portions of the wall seemed to vanish overnight, leading to speculation about who had taken them and where they had gone. It was later discovered that the East German government had secretly sold segments of the wall to international collectors, even before reunification. Some fragments ended up in museums, while others were auctioned off to private buyers. Today, pieces of the Berlin Wall can be found in cities worldwide, from Washington, D.C. to Seoul, serving as reminders of its once divisive presence. The mysterious graffiti messages. The western side of the Berlin Wall was famously covered in graffiti, with powerful political messages and artistic expressions covering nearly every inch of the concrete. While much of this graffiti has been well documented, some cryptic messages remain unsolved mysteries. One such message, scrawled in an unfamiliar language, baffled historians and linguists for years. Some believed it was a coded message between spies, while others thought it could have been an encrypted message from an unknown dissident group. To this day, the true meaning of some of these writings remains a mystery. Additionally, several well-known graffiti artists, including Keith Haring, contributed to the wall's artwork, using it as a canvas to promote peace and freedom. The art on the wall became a testament to resistance, a voice for those who could not otherwise speak out. The wall that wasn't there. Psychological barriers. Even after the physical wall was torn down, a psychological barrier remained. Many East Berliners and West Berliners had lived separately for so long that integration was not as seamless as expected. Social and economic divisions persisted, with many East Germans feeling like second-class citizens in the newly unified Germany. This division was also visible in subtle ways. Some Berliners continued to refer to specific neighborhoods as either East or West, long after reunification. Even today, older generations sometimes unconsciously stick to their pre-1989 habits, such as shopping in familiar areas or following old transportation routes. New discoveries and ongoing research. Archaeologists and historians continue to investigate remnants of the Berlin Wall, uncovering new details that add to our understanding of this period. From newly discovered escape tunnels to lost intelligence reports, the story of the Berlin Wall is far from over. Conclusion. The Berlin Wall was much more than just a physical barrier. It was a symbol of division, a monument of human resilience, and a canvas of hidden mysteries. From secret escape tunnels and ghost stations to mysterious graffiti and lost treasures, its untold stories continue to captivate and intrigue. As we remember its history, we must also acknowledge the lessons it teaches us about the cost of division and the power of unity. Even though the wall has been gone for more than 3 decades, its remnants, both physical and psychological, still shape Berlin today. And as new discoveries are made, the mysteries of the Berlin Wall will likely continue to unfold, ensuring that its legacy remains alive for generations to come.